Hey guys, how you doing? Robbie White here again from Flex Fitness, and it is week 7 of our weekly vlogs, discussions, nutrition, around fitness, around all things fitness related. And today our topic is going to be based on the importance of stretching and mobility exercises before, after, not even as part of a session, just in general. Uh, really. So I've broken it down. I've got like eight different pointers or eight different valid points about the stretching, about mobility, and hopefully it just gives you a bit of more information as to why we do it before, why we do it after, then if needed to why we do it outside of training, whether it be of an evening or first thing you wake up or whatever. It doesn't always have to be based around training or a session. Obviously, it's very important to include it in your session. Very important. Firstly, to get your body ready for the exercise ahead. With more your dynamic type stretching, which means more like stretching on the move, whereas like going into a squat, then stand up, reach up, getting the shoulders right back. Whether it be a lunge with a twist, just activating all the different muscles, getting them ready for movements that you may perform during the session, and then also the static stuff more at the end. So it's a great thing to use for your cool down, as you can use it to bring your heart rate back down. So concentrate on the breathing, concentrate on bringing the heart rate back to normal, the way you were previous to the exercise session that you just did. Yeah, it's good to do this after the session instead of before. When you're doing static stretches, you can go into a deeper hold. You can go a wee bit further if you try to do them. I know the old thing was like coming from a football background. Whenever you played football, you did a couple of laps around the pitch and then everybody stayed still for 10 minutes and did a bit of static stretching, and that's not great. That's going to lead to more injuries than anything that. So what you'll see now in the pros game, or any high level sports, they're doing their dynamic stuff, whether it be like kicking backwards, forwards, opening up the groin, bringing it back in, twisting, all whatever the stuff they're doing, and a bit of plyometrics, maybe a bit of jumping, landing, pausing, all that sort of stuff, rather than jumping straight into a long stretch. Now, if you're doing the static stretching after training, you've already done your main sessions, your muscles have went through a pretty strenuous piece of exercise. They're as warmed up as they're going to be, they're as supple as they're going to be. So when you're doing the static stretching there, you can go that bit further. Okay, so you can sit in there proper big stretch and not really worry about picking up any sort of injury with it. And while you're doing that, because it's not of high pace or high intensity, it'll bring your heart rate down while you're doing it. Okay, so I've got my wee pointers just around me here, so I'll just fly through them and keep it short and sweet. Okay, so benefits then of stretching and mobility would be to increase your flexibility. So by increasing your flexibility, things like as silly as reaching for something, doing a bit of hoovering, things like that. How many times have you heard a family member maybe saying that they bent down to pick something up and they put their back out? If you're implementing a stretching plan into your daily life, things like this would happen less regularly. Your body would be used to the stretching, used to that movement. Whether it's a lower back issue, then if you're stretching out, if you have a wee plan for you're going to throw some lower back stretching in, then things like this won't happen, and also less likely to pick up an injury. Okay, so next one then would be increase range of motion. Okay, so a mixture of dynamic and static stretching, then obviously loosening up the muscle increases our range of motion. If you see that like Olympic style lifting weights, CrossFit style, where they're doing sort of overhead squats, like that sort of thing wouldn't be possible if you didn't have good range of motion. Whenever you're doing like some of these plans, or you're going into the Olympic style stuff or a high level training, these are the types of things that they'll test you on. Whether it's getting you hold a brush pole and see if you can hold it back behind your head and sit into a squat without falling forward or wobbling all over the place, and it's a good gauge on your flexibility, on your range of motion, and ultimately then on your strength, because once you get the first couple there, then your strength's going to improve with that, and the quality of your squat and of your movements and things like that will improve. So a mixture of both is great to improve your range of motion, and again it reduces chance of injury. If your shoulders are stretched up, it might mean the difference. And if you're playing football, Gaelic, netball, whatever your sport may be, any type of sport really, where if you fall, the first thing you do is put your hand down. So this could be the difference between your hand going down and your shoulder having a little bit of flexibility, that it can take it or it can move with it, rather than just bump and your shoulder then popping out of joint, which is you see a lot happening a lot of times in contact sports, obviously, as well. Obviously it's to do with the amount of impact as well, but if you're stretching the joint, if you're doing mobility exercises around your shoulders, around those areas, then maybe less likely to happen. Okay, so sticking with the sports then, any sort of stretching and mobility is going to improve your athletic performance. So any sort of physical activity you're going to do, it's going to help that. If at the minute we discussed that people are out doing running left, right and centre, walking, and there's no doubt, because from my own experience, my calves are really tight, my hips are tight. Today I felt like my thighs were getting a bit tight. So it's very important then to implement some stretching, and anywhere that I may find that after this video I'll go and do some weight training, and then after that I'll maybe spend 10-15 minutes just going through stretches where not necessarily, I'm not like 100% on myself where I make sure I do 30 minutes a day stretching. I don't, to be honest. I do it when I feel tight, when I feel like I need it. Maybe it's something that I need to implement myself more, of course, but if you're going to do some stretching, if you know you're going for your 5k, if you know you're going on a bike ride, it's very important to get stretching, to pre-stretch. Maybe if you're even sore the night before, get a wee bit of stretching done then. In the morning of it, you could do in the morning before, like an hour or so before you go out, you could still do those static stretches, maybe not going so deep. I wouldn't recommend the static stretch before you just jump on the bike or before you just start running. But you could get up in the morning and stretch yourself out, go through the things before you get up, and then start to maybe get your breakfast and things like that, and then before you get on the bike or before you go for a run, just go through some dynamic stretches. We could do a video on dynamic stretches, static stretches, but to be honest, you can go onto YouTube and type in static stretches, type in dynamic stretches, and just follow. I'm sure there's like a wee 10-minute protocol to follow, and you can do all that. So before you go and do your session, when you come back, that feeling, yes, you feel loose, you feel like you're well warmed up, you're sweating, things like that, then it's the perfect time to maybe get back to your house or where you are, just go through your static stretches and get it done before your body starts to tighten up again. Because after the exercise is done, when your body cools down, the muscles will reduce a bit in size, obviously with less blood flow going to them, so they will tighten up again. So maybe very important that you actually get the static stretch in while you're warm, while you're loose, while you're supple. Alright, so next thing is increases the blood flow. So I don't know, any of us heard of DOMS, okay, delayed onset muscle soreness. It can take up to a day or two after you do your session, especially weight training, that you will get sore. So typically, say if you did a leg session, the next day you're like, oh, got away with one, I'm not sore, absolutely delighted. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, oh my god. Okay, so everybody's different. It can kick in the next day. The day immediately after exercise, you can kick in the night of the exercise, you can take 48 hours, whatever it may be. But likelihood is, especially if you aren't doing it on a regular basis with the likes of legs, chest, big muscle groups, you are going to get some delayed onset muscle soreness, okay, DOMS. So if you're stretching, if you feel tight, it's things like people say like about getting cold baths and warm baths and when's the best time to do it and things like that. There's a lot of different sciences in that, and you could go down different alleys and arguments and things like that, but I think the best thing is just is doing something. You know, if you prefer the cold one, you feel like your body reacts better to a cold shower, or jumping in an ice bath or a cold bath. That's great. If you like to the night of, say you've done your training exercise in the morning, and that night you're like, I feel tight, you know what, I'll fancy a wee Redox bath or an Epsom salt bath or whatever, as long as you're doing something. But if you're stretching as well, it just opens up the blood flow, so the blood goes into the muscle, then it will allow you to recover faster, and then at the end the delayed onset muscle soreness will either be subdued or not as much, or maybe delayed, and you get away with what it could have been worse if you didn't do it. Okay, so next one then is improves your posture. So if you struggle with like kyphosis or whatever, lordosis, the lower back, if you feel like you're a bit twisted, the scoliosis, doing stretching around the back area can help improve. Well, it's proven that it will help improve alongside some sort of resistance training. So if you have a muscle imbalance, and that's the reason why you're getting the back pain, obviously it's good to develop the muscles around the area where you're having the imbalance, just to balance it up, obviously. But there obviously is a lot of tightness around it. If you have, say, one side of your back is stronger than the other side, one side's working harder than the other one is, because of the way you are, or the way your posture is, then that will have a major effect on the tightness of the muscle. One muscle needs a bit of a breather, really, so it is important to stretch it out and try and open up the blood vessels getting in there, and create ease and less pain and more flexibility, then in time better posture. So like I'm just catching myself on every now and again. I feel like I slide down myself. Posture is one of those things that it's a constant state of thinking about. So if you don't think about your posture, I'm sure all of us just do the normal, like hunched over, and then you go, oh here, and you sort of pull yourself back again. It's just normal. It's a normal thing. What the people in the world with the most impressive posture are children. They just do it naturally. So if you see your kid going to get something, or going to pick up their colouring-ins, or going to pick up something, their toys off the floor, they will automatically squat down, keeping their back straight, squat down and lift it. Where if that was us, because we just want to get the ASB as fast as possible, we lean over, lazy. It's laziness. If you go to any of them courses about how to lift properly, how to lift your legs, not with your back sort of stuff, look at the young kids, look at toddlers that do it, just boom, off their own back. Then when you grow up, the laziness kicks in, and you forget about it. It's not you forget it doesn't become natural no more, and you just go just bend down to get that. And how many times have you heard people doing it, or maybe yourself? It just takes that 1 wee second. You don't even have to be lifting anything heavy. You just go down to pick something up, you get back up, and then you feel like your spine is in the shape of an S for a few days, and you're agony, and you can't go certain ways and all. So that's it. Look at the kids and see what way they pick stuff up. It's really interesting. Next then it would be going on talking about the back again. So it helps decrease actual back pain. So not just about posture. So people have a lot of like serious issues with their back, and no chiropractor. This is just advice and stretching. Implementing stretching into your daily routine, if you do have back problems, may help relieve the pain that you're getting, may help improve the problem, and then further down the line prevent anything maybe further that could have developed by maintaining a regular stretching routine. Just a wee short one. So also then going on to the sort of holistic side of things, it is a great stress reliever. So stretching relieves stress. If whenever you're doing, especially your static stretching, you're sitting in this stretch, breathing in and out, try and focus on your breathing, try and focus on your heart rate, trying to bring that down as slow as possible. It's got to be about calmness. If first of all, if your body is warm, so that when they say stretching is good when your body is warm, so even like say the best stretching you probably do is like in a steam room or a sauna when your body is really really warm and supple, and you feel like you can stretch out a bit further and all. Obviously if it's a cold day and you try and stretch, you feel like you're struggling for a stretch. So if you focus on areas such as your neck, your shoulders, your upper back, where tension seems to go. If you're stressed out and things like that, then you go. I don't know if any of you go and get a massage or try it out. But if you do, 9 times out of 10 you'll see your upper back, your shoulders, your neck. You can really feel the tension in it, because they are just the muscles that seem to seize up the most whenever we're under a bit of stress, whether it be mentally or physically. So regular stretching and mobility will increase relaxation. So you can have that as a say a session in itself, like yoga style, for example. So you can go into performance stretching for a full session. You know, we just put it in before and after for like 5 or 10 minutes, just to because you can't, obviously, if we're going to do a session for an hour, we're not going to have the time to sit and go with our clients for an hour stretching. So that's very important that you do your own and you do your research and or ask your trainer for sort of a wee stretching program. If you like to help with that, focusing on, again, reducing your heart rate, focusing on your breathing. Listen to your breathing. Try and count it as you're going. If it's whatever seconds in, blow it right out. Make sure there's nothing left in there, and do it again. There's this style of stretching, not to go into the science about it, but it's for short, it's PNF stretching, okay, and this is a lot to do with it. So you actually have say someone doing it with you, whether it's a trainer or a partner or whatever. So you hold a stretch, you stretch as far as you can, hold the stretch as normal. Then the partner doing it with you would then say you're doing a hamstring stretch. You got the leg just one side up over here. You hold a normal stretch. They would push against you, giving it a bit of tension, and then 3, 2, 1, relax. You blow out as far as you can, and you can get that bit further. Now you can do that 2 or 3 times, and it's guaranteed that breathe and we'll go again. And then look how far you're in here from this was your maximum stretch. Then we got it to here, we got it to here, we got it to here. If you lie on your belly, you try and pull. A lot of people can do it anyway, but if you try and pull your heel to your bum and you can't touch, try that. So you can keep your heel down and lift the thigh off the ground. Try and push down, blow it out, and you'll see that your heel will then go to your bum when it couldn't before of your own devices. So try that out. Obviously, don't be going mad. Don't want to be getting in trouble by people going and doing stretching and forcing it and going mad and crazy like that. So just try to do it with it yourself with the breathing. Even you're holding the deep stretch, breathe, blow it out, and see if you can get that bit further into your hamstring stretch, your groin stretch, and I guarantee it will help you. It's also proven that stretching and mobility helps reduce like headaches, alongside obviously decent nutrition and hydration levels, all those sort of things. If there's a red flag or a negative on any of them, it can lead to the reason why you're getting headaches. And also that stretching, having stretching as part of your routine, your daily routine, every other day routine, whatever it is, it will help reduce the headaches. Like I'm not saying that if you get a headache, go, oh God, Robbie says I have to go and get a mat now and start doing my stretching. Not necessarily that way. I know when headaches hit some people, it is it's bad, and then they lie in darkness. Migraines and things like that. So that's how I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you're implementing, these are all benefits that if you're implementing them on a daily basis or every other day or just more than what you're doing at the minute, these are the benefits that will stand you in stead for throughout your life and as you get older. Because as you get older, muscle tightness and mobility are things that just happen. Obviously, we all know people who are a bit older but still pretty flexible, still pretty fit, blah blah blah. But brilliant, absolutely fantastic. But for the majority of the population, as you get older, your mobility starts to go a bit. Your muscles tend to tighten up. It's just the way it is. So if you're implementing these in your earlier days and bringing them up through you as you get older, you know, you're setting yourself in good stead. For those times whenever you just bend over and your back goes. Somebody can be really fit in their 60s and 70s, really fit and regularly go out power walking, even jogging. Yeah, I've seen it. Then all of a sudden something happens and the twins their back or the pull a wee muscle here or there, and you know what? Then it just sort of go really bad really quickly. I've seen me Harry out doing this, blah blah blah. Figure of speech, Harry doesn't exist. I've seen me Harry out doing his maze every day. I haven't seen him then in 6 weeks. Oh, did you not hear? He went bent down, or he went up to grab something out of the cupboard, and next thing his back went, and now he's struggling and he can't even get out and he can't cross that door, and he's basically sitting on a seat and he's limping around. And these are stories that are so true. It may never happen to you or anyone related to you or to do with you, but this is about you. So if you start to implement a bit of stretching into your life, then these are the things that might help you when things like this happen, because they do happen. All right, so that was a shorter one. I was trying to keep it a bit short today because whenever I get going, I go off on one. So the wife was telling me off, and a few other people were going, "Can you not keep it shorter? You're going about 25 minutes and all." So I hope this is a bit shorter. It's a wee bit shorter. It's not that shorter. But yeah, so this is week 7 of our vlog. Every week I've said it now. It's like, whoa, it's week 5. Whoa, it's week 6. Whoa, it's week 7. So, but there is a plan out there. As a gym owner myself, I feel pretty much in limbo too. I don't know what's happening. A lot of people are texting me saying, when's the gym going to be open? On what capacity are you going to open the gym? What way is it going to be? How are you going to take on the people you had in before? What happens with the PTs? What happens with people who just want to come in for a session? These are all new problems that I've been thinking about over the last while and don't know. So yeah, so it's very difficult times, but we're hoping that we're not going to go on till welcome it's week 12, welcome it's week 13. But just hope by then that we're sort of back able to do stuff maybe face to face again. Maybe not large groups obviously, but smaller groups, one-to-ones, all that sort of stuff. So fingers crossed, it won't last that long. But that's week 7 done. Thanks very much for anybody who's continuously watching the videos. I do take a bit of time and try and get out as much quality as possible, so I'm not filling your heads full of rubbish that you may see on the internet or on Instagram, stuff like that. Or it's just a face that I've picked up along the way that I'm giving to you, that from my own knowledge or my own tips and things like that. That's just a face. Okay, so thanks very much guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, bye bye.